Well, you've seen this. Roll the intro.
Hey, little M&M's.
M&M's is pretty much one of my favorite candies of all time. A tiny milk chocolate that doesn't melt in your hand is obviously one of the most creative ideas I've ever seen. By the time they actually started giving their M&M characters personalities, these ads started to feel more like films than they do like actual like commercials. From 95 to the present day, M&M's on Halloween became a tradition. This ad in particular has the orange M&M having his body filled with glow-in-the-dark bags inside, making him pretty much a jack-o'-lantern filled M&M bag of sorts. But just like the Christmas one, this one in particular was running for over 30 years.
I'm a pirate.
No.
Spaceman?
No.
Ninja?
They also have ads running also in different countries such as the UK and France.
Halloween avec M&M's, méfiez-vous des petits monstres gourmands.
Of course, with all M&M ads, they're just hilarious, entertaining, and they mostly revolve around them just not getting eaten, pretty much.
All those people out partying, trick-or-treating, eating M&M's.
Scary movie?
Done.
I love how they're trying to live in a world where they will get consumed by anyone without a second thought. It's dark, but also it's funny as hell. I will always love these characters, even though I might eat them too.
This can't be good.
Goosebumps board game. Objective, defeat the headless ghost, or become a monster. This is literally Halloween 2 before Halloween 2. This is really creepy, playing off of the terror of the original books in the series, including a creepy girl's voice telling you to roll the dice and run for your life. I mean, have you ever heard of a ghost telling you to run for your life in some sort of creepy melody? But what's even scarier, I don't think that boy survived. He won, sure, but he might be dead. I mean, his friends turned into zombies, so it never said that he could live. Okay, that game is cursed. I will not be rolling those dice, but I will be running for my life. Actually, I don't have to.
Goosebumps, terror in the graveyard game. So much fun, it's scary.
I used to be frightened by all the wine coolers I saw. I was scared I wouldn't...
Vincent Price is a legend in the horror genre. From his famous horror films such as House on Haunted Hill, The Tingler, House of Wax, and even the hilarious House of Frightenstein that I reviewed years back, he's a very well-known actor. So when it comes to Vincent Price ads, there's a plethora of Vincent Price ads out there. But I had to pick this one from the Sun Country Wine ad, or Sun Country Wine Coolers ad, but mainly I could just call it Sun Country Wine. But it had one particular thing that kind of made me want to talk about it. It's Vincent Price in a polar bear costume. I mean, normally I would see him looking more sophisticated, like in most of the ads that he's been in. Or I would have expected him like maybe with the vampire fangs like he did with Kermit back in Sesame Street. But no, he's literally in a polar bear's outfit talking about Sun Country Wine. And the polar bear outfit is kind of scary because it looks as real as it can get. Now, yes, you could tell how fake it is, especially for the fact that you're hearing Vincent Price's own voice coming from it. But when you look at this ad, you're thinking, why is he in a polar bear outfit? How did that come into the phone call? Was it like, you know, oh, listen, Vincent Price, we definitely are going to need you. And then he goes, yes, but I'm actually going to need something a little bit more sophisticated. Sure, whatever you want. And then he goes, I need a polar bear costume. That's it? Yes. And I mean, let's think about it here. Like, you would expect Vincent Price to be doing something a little bit differently than just putting a polar bear costume, but to be honest, maybe that's what he is. Especially knowing the fact, as far as I heard, Vincent Price didn't matter how typecasted he was, just as long as he was very faithful to the horror genre in any way possible. When you look at some people kind of like Bela Lugosi, Boris Karloff, even Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing, they are some of the very best actors that take their acting roles very seriously. Christopher Lee, more or less an example, is in the Hammer Dracula series. He hated this series so much because how it never faithfully made Dracula. The only time he actually played a faithful Dracula was in a 1970s film called Count Dracula. So it is pretty much the reason why Vincent Price, or no, not Vincent Price, but Christopher Lee doesn't like it. Because the fact of how Dracula was not as faithful to the books in the movies. But when it comes to Vincent Price, he doesn't really care as long as it's something good. And maybe that's the reason with this ad here. He doesn't care. And maybe that's a good thing. Because he is still a great actor. A horror legend, but also a very silly man.
If you don't say Sun Country, you'd better sleep with your lights on.
The unthinkable has happened. The impossible is now true.
This ad comes from the UK and is Dracula Ice Lollipops. Searching this up, the lollipops are strawberry jelly with vanilla. It's a pretty creative lollipop, if you ask me.
Was Dracula. It's really horrible.
Well, that's the first time I've ever heard of an ad telling me that their product is terrible. There was actually another Dracula ice cream ad, and this one came from Australia.
There is nothing to be afraid of, is there, children?
Oh my god! What did they do to the children?
Think about the children!
No one can resist the delicious passion fruit ice over the marvelous raspberry plasma. I mean jelly over the marvelous raspberry plasma.
The ice cream has passion fruit and raspberry jelly plasma? So instead of feasting on the living is feasting technically on Dracula? Wow, now that's evil. Dracula sure does know how to give you the chills. Pick one.
Pause Dracula. Also in monster take-home packs of 10.
Hi, kids. Casper the Friendly Ghost here for Target.
Now, if there's one thing I know from my research, is that Casper ads from the 80s and 90s were everywhere. And at this point, I could tell you, you just couldn't escape them. They were on every ad. Like, they were on, like, every ad, even after your show. They were just everywhere. Like, literally just everywhere. Target ads, pizza ads, even for the Comfort Inn Hotel.
Play the Casper Ghost Hunt sweepstakes this summer at Comfort.
Oh, and how about the teaser that they had in the theaters for Casper 95, where they were advertising Pepsi, and how about that Count Chocolate? These ads were everywhere. You could not escape these ads.
You can get a glow-in-the-dark hand puppet from the movie Casper, $1.49 each, and only at Pizza Hut.
I don't know if this was a way to keep Casper relevant. I don't think even I'm the one who should be judging that, but all I can say is, Casper was that popular
Now for a limited time, monster marshmallows.
With me, Casper.
Now in Count Chocula, a spooky part of the school breakfast.
If you've seen my review of Casper 95, then you know my thoughts on the movie and the character itself. Pizza Hut's ad was a very popular one for advertising their stuffed crust pizza.
With a large just $9.99, every living person will be eating it the wrong way, crust first.
Hey, look! I'm eating like a fleshy too!
And even so, not so living.
You love the stuff we made of Pizza Hut!
Still friendly, still a ghost. Casper, you're still loved by a whole lot.
Oh, man.
Remember the Pause makeup kits that I reviewed a couple years back? It was a very good ad for at least a pretty decent makeup kit. But now we're looking at something called Kooky Spooks makeup kits, which sounds interesting, so let's see how the ad starts.
What strange creatures are lurking in the night?
I could think of plenty.
Oh, skull face, mummy face too.
How do I know that they're not both mummies?
Oh, ghoul face. What a frightful sight.
Wow,
yes, Mom,
that wasn't even a name. Hey Tommy, what makeup kit do you want? I want the woo-hoo makeup kit.
Yes, Mom, this Halloween your kids can have fun creating their own scary disguise with Kooky Spooks makeup. They just smear it on. When the makeup dries, it cracks to make them look really old and ghoulish.
That is awful. It looks cheap, and it will irritate the skin. The fact that they tell you to add sheets to your costume to shows just how cheap they actually are. It's a cheap, terrible makeup, and I'm happy it doesn't exist anymore. There's a reason why this kit never catched on.
Kooky Spooks makeup kits, 6 frightening disguises to choose from.
Tonight, I, Dr. Frankenstuff, reveal my greatest invention.
Now I know why the 80s are so weird. It's weird because there's so many weird ads. Like this one. This is Hormel Frankenstuff. Hot dogs filled with chili. If that's not weird, I don't know what is.
You really like that cheese Frankenstuff, don't you? Did you know it's the only Frank with a tunnel of cheese?
Actually, no, I was unaware of that.
And probably is death to your toilet. The fact that these people are all just lured here in this spooky mansion to eat hot dogs laced with chili is the most unfanciest way to eat, period. Hey, at least the cover looks nice. And it's actually a pretty clever name. It's a play on Frankfurters and the chili inside of them. But it's also a nice callback to the original Universal monster himself, the Frankenstein monster. Since, like, a long time ago, hot dogs are very common in barbecues, ball games, and of course, movie theaters. And chili has been common since the 19th century.
What do you call him, Master? What else but Frankenstuff?
Frankenstuff from Hormel.
Damn, Australia's got some crazy ads. Here we see a lady running away from something or someone. She has what looks like a cut on her hand. She comes to a dead end when she comes face to face with Dracula, who looks like the inspector from London After Midnight. As we find out, she's a servant to Dracula and made a big mistake giving him non-fresh tomato sauce.
Let the servants do the shopping.
People tend to see red when you serve up anything but what is tomato sauce, because what is never skimp on their special ingredients and top quality tomato.
This ad is funny, clever, pretty much both at the same time. I already knew that girl had tomato sauce on her hand. It also plays the cliche but iconic Toccata and Fugue in D minor, which many people think is Dracula's music. Personally, I think Swan Lake is Dracula's music. But I guess they needed something loud to something loud but classic. One thing's for certain, Australia knows Halloween.
Twice the taste and twice as good, because what is means good food.
I love this commercial. Shasta has been around for at least 100 years, creating multi-flavored beverages that you could still buy even to this date. But this ad holds a special place in my heart. It revolves around Dr. Frankenstein and the monster, but his name is changed to Igor.
Evening, Igor.
I find it very unnecessary because he looks like the original Jack Pierce design. Not spot on, but close enough. Could have been a copyright issue. We see that Igor goes shopping for lots, and I mean lots, of Shasta's orange soda. That smile is all right there. He loves that soda. So much, in fact, that he pours a glass to the night shift guy. Now that's nice of him. It's a fun ad to get you in probably the best Halloween mood.
Shasta, it's the orange soda that can make anybody happy.
Now, this ad in particular was banned for obvious reasons, which I will get to. So, technically, yeah, it's one of those interesting little ads here. When you actually look at the beginning, which is like this pumpkin right here, you wouldn't even notice that this is like a bad ad. But what is the reason? What were they advertising that got them banned in the first place? Hershey's mixed with gunpowder? Nope. Cyanide-laced M&Ms. Try again. How about Kit Kats with vampire's blood? It's not even a candy. It's cigarettes. Yeah, Newport cigarettes in 1981. Oh, but this is the best part. This particular ad for cigarettes was advertising it for kids.
While the other neighbors are passing out boring old chocolate bars, dull candies, and bland treats, why don't you give the kids what they really want? The exciting and smooth taste of Newport menthol cigarettes.
Oh, and the lung cancer and the respiratory infections, they're just a bonus. Look, I understand you want to sell your product, but that was the most immature, moronic, narcissistic, brain-dead idea for an ad that I ever heard!
If stupidity were measured in miles, you'd be China.
The worst part about this ad here is that it doesn't feel real. It almost feels like a parody. Like one of those like joke parodies that people put on the internet. But it's actually real, and it's literally promoting kids to smoke in the 1980s. I have no words. I literally have no comment. Candy may be bad for you, but at least it doesn't kill you.
It's the most refreshing smoke of all. Newport menthol cigarettes, alive with pleasure.
You think it's funny? All right, hold on, wait.